I've been extremely pleased with the recent emphasis on content strategy in the field of web design. For many years, designers, and I'm one of them, we kind of ignored content. We chose to focus more on visual design and user experience, with content as merely that thing that you replaced your placeholder blocks with. Now, that approach ignored the fundamental role that content plays in determining document structure. Without properly organizing the content on a page, you really won't be able to structure it in a meaningful way. So what I want to do is get an overview of the content that's going to be on our trail review page and then organize it so that it can help us plan our document structure. So if you were wondering, what the heck is this list that we're looking at? This is the list of the page content that's going to be on our Trails page. So when you're creating a new page or site, one of the things that I would recommend doing is just kind of doing this. This is a really basic, really general content census, meaning I'm saying to myself, okay, on this trail review page, what is the content that's going to be on here? I didn't write it down in any order whatsoever. I just started thinking off the top of my head, what am I going to put on this page? Obviously, I'm going to have navigation. I'm going to do branding for the company. There's going to be an ad. I'll have copyright disclaimers and contact info for people. And then I'm going to have trail reviews. Specifically, there's going to be one called the Northridge Loop Review. It's not really a blog posting, but it's kind of a blog posting because I'm going to let people comment on it. There's a little sidebar that's going to have Ojai trail facts, meaning that it's secondary content. And then we'll also use this page to display writer-generated reviews. That means submissions from other people. We'll have two of those, the Los Robles Trail and the Copper Canyon Loop. So once I do this sort of information dump, let's just put everything on the page. Let's not worry about its structure or organization. I then have to go through and think about this content. And I like to break it down. And this is, of course, just my process. I like to break it down into two types of content, primary and secondary, to just kind of see where everything fits. Again, it's just a general organization of the content. And this requires me, of course, to put a little bit more thought into the structure of the content. So for the primary content, I would consider that to be, obviously, page navigation is pretty primary. The company branding, they're going to care about that. And then, of course, the main focus of this page is the trail review for the Northridge Loop. So that all sort of fits into that primary content. All the other stuff on the page, ad content, copyright disclaimer, contact info, Ojai trail facts, all those writer reviews, those are secondary. And this really helps me sort of laser focus in on what the main content of the page is. And that's going to help me structure it because now I can start to think about a hierarchy. I can start to think about creating a document outline with this information that accurately reflects its importance. And that lets me create what I call the initial document outline. Now, you might refine this throughout the process. The final page structure might be a little different than this, and that's fine. But what this is basically you saying, out of all the content that I've got on the page, what's the best structure for it in order to accurately relate the importance of the content? So very first thing, branding, the company info, then navigation, and then that trail review that's sort of the main content of the page, Northridge Loop Review, and then the comments. After that, I start sort of ranking the importance of the other content. Writer reviews, people are going to want to read those, so those come next. Ad content, we can't forget the people that make us money. And then finally at the very bottom are copyright disclaimer and contact info. I mean, that's sort of secondary stuff anyway. Now, the purpose of the document outline that you see here is not really just sit and list every single piece of content that's going to be on my page. Rather, it allows me to start thinking about the semantic structural elements that I'm going to use on the page and then what type of outline that's going to generate. So I'm really only interested at this point in sort of the big ticket items on the page. Now, using a process like this makes creating wireframes and thumbnail sketches and designs a lot easier. At least it does for me because I begin to really explore the relationship between page content. I can also use this to start identifying which structural and semantic elements I might use for the various sections of the page. And that's something that we're going to tackle next.